If you're listening to this, you might be sitting with a cup of coffee wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. I'd like you to acknowledge the unique pain of starting over after a divorce. Today, we'll explore why grief is actually your pathway back to love. But first, you need to understand grief during heartbreak. Welcome to All About Dating, the podcast where faith meets love and healing opens the doors to your heart's deepest desire. I am Patty Martin Guerra, your host and life coach, and I'm here to guide you on a transformative journey. Whether you're navigating the world of dating apps, healing from past relationships, or ready to manifest the love you truly deserve, this is your safe place to grow, heal, and discover your divine worth. Each week, we'll explore practical strategies for authentic dating, dive deep into healing past traumas, and align your heart with God's beautiful plan for your love life. Because, sister, you deserve nothing less than extraordinary love. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you hope and a future." So open your heart and let's discover how to date with divine purpose. Grief has many faces. Loss of future dreams. The life you planned that will never be. You somehow feel like a failure. You somehow feel like you did something wrong, even though you know you didn't. But that loss of the future dreams, that loss of growing old with your ex-husband, it's the grief that you carry now. Then you carry the identity grief. Mourning who you were as a couple. You are now alone. You at times don't know who you are anymore. Let me rephrase that. You at times don't feel like you know who you are, because deep inside, you know who you are. You are a daughter of God and you are loved. And although you're going through these hard moments, you have people around you that care about you and that are there for you. You're used to sharing finances, daily routines, mutual friends, and all of the sudden, it's only your finances. It's only your daily routines. And now you don't want to do the daily routines because whatever you do reminds you of your ex. And it hurts. It hurts to know that you are alone. It hurts to know that you no longer share those daily routines. The mutual friends, you don't know whether you should stay friends with them because even though they are your friends as well, you don't know their reaction once you start talking about your ex, about what happened. Because let's be honest, it will come up. And at times, you might be too honest with them, but they might take his side, whether you're wrong or he's right. So mutual friends many times is best to just not be around them as much. You don't want to walk on eggshells thinking twice about what you're going to say or how you're going to react, because you don't know if your ex is going to hear this. And in this time of grief, you want to vent. You want to talk to people about how much you're hurting, but you don't want it to be told the wrong way. You don't want him to see it as, oh, look at her, now she's suffering. I feel sorry for her. Or you simply don't want him to know your life anymore. So having mutual friends is something that you need to consider. And you're not only going to be going through the heartbreak of the loss of your marriage, but you're also going to add to that the grief of not having mutual friends. And that's okay. This is where you need to separate one from the other and really know if having mutual friends is something that is healthy for you. Remember, this is all about you, your well-being, your recovery. It's just you, what's best for you. And don't feel that you are being selfish, because you're not. You need to take care of yourself mentally and physically. You are missing that physical and emotional connection. You sometimes feel lonely or just get home tired, and you're used to going to your ex-husband and asking him to give you a foot massage or a hug or just hold you because you had a hard day at work, and he's no longer there. In these moments, I ask you to pray, get on your knees and pray to God, because He will always be there for you. He will always be there to hug you, to comfort you, no matter what. Another grief that hardly anyone talks about is the family separation, the children's pain, witnessing your kids navigate split homes. They at times tell you, Mom, when can we be back together the way we were before? And that just breaks your heart. And it's not like you can be open to them and tell them, your father did this to me, or I did this to your father. So it breaks your heart. The extended family loss, the in-laws, the family traditions, the holiday changes. You can no longer be the same with the in-laws because things change. Your ex will always be their son, and no matter what, they will always care for their son. This doesn't mean that they're going to stop talking to you. They might not, but knowing that you can't go to them on Sundays like you used to, or Friday nights or Saturday nights, or I don't know, you only know how often you visited them. Holidays, that's no longer your family to visit during holidays. That's no longer your family to visit during the weekends. That is another loss. That is another grief that you have to go through. And again, this is your choice. You need to understand if the relationship with your extended family is a healthy relationship for you and for your children. And if it's not, you need to walk away. Because by walking away doesn't mean that you hate them or that you don't want them in your life. But knowing how far you're supposed to go, it's the healthiest thing you can do for you, your children. The social circle grief, couple friends who choose sides or fade away. You might have already experienced couples that don't talk to you anymore. Friends that were there for you all the time and now they're not because they have taken his side. And that is okay. You rather want them to be honest from the get-go than to pretend they're on your side when they're not. And this is not just a matter of having sides. It's a matter of having a healthy separation. Losing your place in familiar social structures is very difficult in this time, especially if you have kids. You have to separate holidays, weekends, and you have to somehow manage explaining to them why you can't go, why you guys can be together like it was before if your kids are still small. You're confused because sometimes you want to text your sister-in-law or ex-sister-in-law or your mother-in-law and just tell them how great your day was. But then you feel that they're not giving you the same treatment, and that's okay. It just hurts. It hurts because that's something you're not used to. But as I said before, it's okay. This is time for you to find new friends who you can call family. Or maybe you already have those friends. Lean on their shoulder. I'm sure more than one is going to be there for you with an open heart and open arms. The spectrum of grief types. We have the anticipatory grief, the mourning the relation while it was ending, grieving before the divorce was final. This is asking why this, why that, why is this happening to me? I don't understand. Is this maybe a dream? Am I dreaming? The complicated grief. When grief feels stuck or overwhelming. When that happens, that's a sign that you need professional support. Don't be stubborn and think that you can handle anything. You might be able to handle it, but it's going to take you a long time. And remember, if you have children, they are going to pay that grief with you. Because if mommy's not happy, the children won't be happy either. We have the ambiguous grief, missing someone who hurt you, loving the good times while hating the bad. This is confusing. You're missing that person who you married, and you're confused as to what is going on. You love the good times. You remember your wedding day. You remember the days that your children were born, when you bought a house, when you got engaged. But at the same time, the divorce comes up, the cheating, the lying, and you start hurting even more. Grief and hope can coexist. Grief isn't the opposite of healing, it's part of it. When you allow yourself to grieve, you heal better. And this is when you accept what you're going through, and you might not know why you're going through. You might be questioning yourself. How honoring your losses creates space for new love. Honor what's going on with you. The difference between healing and getting over it is when you heal, it's because you already accepted what happened to you. You might not understand it, but you accept it and you move forward. When you no longer feel that you hate your ex-husband for cheating on you, for divorcing you, for whatever reason, and getting over it is I don't care mode, I don't want to talk to him mode, I don't want to see him ever again mode, covering what happened to you instead of healing it. Your grief is proof of your capacity to love deeply. If you're grieving, it's because you're going through hurt, because you loved that person, because you loved who you were with that person, because you loved the life that you had with that person. That tells you that you are capable of loving, and not just loving that person, but loving someone else who might be on his way to find you. If you still are in the getting over it, or I got over it, I suggest that you really take a look deep inside and make sure that you heal before you get into another relationship. Because if you don't, you will be bringing all this hurt to the new relationship. And just how you want the perfect person for you, he also wants the perfect person for him. So do the work get ready. The practical steps to move forward is give yourself permission to grieve. Set aside time to feel it fully. Don't bury yourself at work or in the gym or with the children, but give yourself time to grieve. It's okay to cry. You're not weak because you're crying. You're a human being. And if you don't give yourself time to heal fully, to feel it fully, you will not heal. Name your specific losses. Write them down. Acknowledge each one. I grieve the loss of my home with my ex-husband, with my family. I grieve the loss of my marriage. Only you know. Write them down to make them more noticeable and to acknowledge them. This way, you will know what you need to heal from. I will never get tired of saying this. Seek grief-informed support. Find support groups, trusted friends, therapists, life coaches that know what you're going through. Preferably that you have been through what you are going through or something similar, and they already are where you want to be in the future, in the near future, that is. Practice self-compassion. You're not broken. You're healing. It's normal if you feel sad at times and happy at others, and you don't know if you're going right or left at times, but you're still going. Submerge yourself in prayer and trust your timeline. Grief has its own pace. Don't ask another person, how long did it take you to get over it? How long did it take you to heal? How long did it take you to be able to say, I'm free? Everyone is different. And depending on how soon you let go and you allow yourself to grieve, the sooner you will heal. I like to tell you that your grief is not a barrier to live. It's evidence of your beautiful, open heart. The same heart that grieves so deeply is the same heart that will love again. I encourage you to take a look on the show notes and click that link for a 30-minute free session for you, where we can touch areas of your life where you need guidance to move forward. We all need healing. We all need support. Take advantage of this 30 minutes that I am giving to my listeners for free, and contact me. Please share this episode with someone that you know it would be a great help, and give me a review so my show can get to many women that need to hear this message. Be a blessing to me and be a blessing to others. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Blessings. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of All About Dating. Remember, your healing is holy work, your standards are sacred, and your love story has already been written by God Almighty. Before you go, please take a moment to reflect on today's message. How is God calling you to show up differently in your dating life? What healing work is He inviting you to embrace? If today's episode touched your heart, please share it with your sister who needs to hear this message. Together, we're creating a community of women who refuse to settle for nothing less than what she deserves. Be a blessing to me and leave me a review to help me reach more women around the world. Until next time, keep dating with purpose, healing with grace, and trusting in God's perfect timing for your love story. This is Patty Martin Guerra reminding you, you are loved, you are worthy, and your happily ever after, it's on its way. Blessings and love.